Did you know, Sasha Banks didn't go to traditional school for all her life. Growing up, Banks lived with her mother and brother, who has autism, and to get him to the right hospitals and schools, Banks' family moved often. When Banks was in the 7th grade, she started taking classes online to be able to stay home and take care of her brother, and also to allow her mother to keep on working. Sasha Banks has said that Eddie Guerrero is her favorite wrestler of all time. Part of that is because the reason she got hooked on wrestling was because the first Eddie Guerrero match she saw was what made her start pursuing a career in wrestling. She also cites Guerrero's match against Rey Mysterio from WCW's Halloween Havoc pay-per-view as her favorite match of all time. There's a sad story with how she found out about Guerrero's death. In November of 2005, Banks won front row tickets to Raw, and this would have been the first time she saw Guerrero in person. This episode of Raw became a tribute to Eddie Guerrero after he passed away the day before. Banks didn't know this, and even after seeing signs saying "Rest in Peace, Eddie" and the like, Banks took this as either hate for the wrestler or that he's going to be wrestling The Undertaker. It wasn't until a fan approached her and told her that Guerrero had sadly passed away. On a more positive note, Sasha Banks' love for Eddie Guerrero can be seen in her wrestling career. Her WrestleMania 32 attire was inspired by Guerrero's from the No Way Out pay-per-view in 2004, where he won the WWE Championship for the first time. During the same show where she wore the inspired gear, Banks also performed a frog splash, which was Guerrero's finishing move. Likewise, she used the move again in her Hell in a Cell match against Charlotte in 2016. Also during that match, she performed the Three Amigos, another signature move of Eddie Guerrero. Another nod to Guerrero comes from a July 2016 edition of Raw. During a match against the then WWE Women's Champion Charlotte, Banks got a hold of the championship belt and threw it to Dana Brooke, who was accompanying Charlotte, and laid down to appear as if Brooke had hit her with the belt, which was a trick done by Eddie Guerrero a number of times. Sasha Banks was backstage at WrestleMania 24 when she was only 16. As many know, rapper Snoop Dogg is Banks' cousin as well as a wrestling fan. So when he hosted the Divas Lumberjack match at 2008's WrestleMania 24, Snoop Dogg got her into the event, and she was able to meet a lot of the stars at the time. This was the same show where Ric Flair had his retirement match, so his daughter Charlotte was there as well, and both her and Banks were backstage together, and just 8 years later, they'd be the first two women to main event a WWE pay-per-view. Besides just getting Banks backstage at WWE events, Snoop Dogg was also one of the influences for Sasha Banks' boss character. Growing up, Snoop Dogg would call himself the boss around Banks, so she decided to take that name and turn it into a character for her to portray. She was also inspired by other singers as well, such as Nicki Minaj and Kanye West, with their style and attitude. Tyler Breeze was another person who helped Banks create her character. While in NXT, Breeze suggested that Banks create a list of characters and decide from there which would fit her the most. Sasha Banks' husband, Kid Mikaze, is also a wrestler. He started his career in 2001 and wrestled for a number of independent promotions, as well as Ring of Honor and a bit in TNA. Most interesting though, is that he made one televised appearance in WWE. In June 2012, Mikaze, along with a fellow independent wrestler, appeared on an episode of Raw in a 2-on-1 handicap match against Ryback. Mikaze didn't use his regular ring name, however. Instead, Rutherford P.S. Hayes, which is likely a reference to Michael P.S. Hayes, a former wrestler and current WWE producer/road agent. In May of 2015, at a TV taping for NXT, Mikaze competed in a dark tag team match. Dark match being a match not shown on TV, where he teamed up with Jason Jordan in a losing effort against the Vaudevillains. The scariest and saddest part is that after taking a boot to the side of the head, Mikaze became limp and the referee had to call off the match. According to a fan in attendance, Mikaze laid there for about 5 minutes before he could get up on his own. 2 days later, Mikaze said on Twitter that he was doing fine, but sadly, he's not made an in-ring return since that match. In 2015, Mikaze became the seamstress and designer for WWE after Sandra Gray retired, who had been creating attires for WWE wrestlers since 1994. But before joining the WWE, Mikaze already had a large number of work under his belt. He started by designing his own costumes to wrestle in, but his fellow wrestlers took notice, and he started taking commissions for other performers as well. Some of the more well-known wrestlers he has created clothing for are Summer Rae and Paige, and actually, the purple attire Paige debuted on Raw in was crafted by Mikaze. Designing pro wrestling gear is partially how Sasha Banks and Kid Mikaze got to know each other. When Banks first met Mikaze, he offered to design outfits for her to wear, and continued to do so into her NXT days. One more interesting fact about Banks and Mikaze's relationship is that the two have wrestled each other. In 2012, while Banks was wrestling on the independent circuit under the name Mercedes KV, she participated in a 4-way match for the promotion Beyond Wrestling. She wrestled against 3 other men, and one of those guys was her future husband, Kid Mikaze. Did You Know Wrestling is inspired by Did You Know Gaming, so go ahead and check their channel out. And if you want more Did You Know Wrestling, go ahead and check out the episode we did on Samoa Joe. And also be sure to subscribe to Tap Out Corner for more videos like this. I'm Zach, and I'll see you next time.